Hi, this is the Ivy League astrologer with the July 2015 reading for Vedic Taurus. I changed my hair, so I look a little bit different, but I just needed a change for the summer. So braids for the summer. Whoop, whoop. Also paint all over me. In the middle of painting my room. I thought I was going to be painting 3 rooms, but I am struggling very deeply to get this one done. So that's what's up with me. Let's see what's up with you for July 2015. So the first card out for Vedic Taurus for July 2015 is the Knight of Pentacles. I would say this is about some slow and steady, gradual, painful progress regarding a past love situation that has ended, didn't go well. Where maybe you and the other person just showed your worst sides, you know. I have like no cards this month. I think I'm getting like really short readings this month. Last month I got a bunch of really long ones, but I think astrologically it's sort of a lighter month. So maybe that's why. But yeah. So it feels like this is a situation in which, again, you and the other person just kind of showed your worst selves. And it feels like there is an opportunity this month for some healing in that situation. Some maybe long overdue healing. Because the Knight of Pentacles is always about a long journey. You know, he always looks like he's sort of ridden through the underbrush. He's got vegetation like attached to his helmet and on his horse's, bridle or whatever. So this is something that's kind of long overdue, it feels like, but it feels like there's some healing available and a way of like seeing each other in a new light where you're like, you know what? It's okay. Like, it's okay. It may not all be fixed. You may not fully be ready for like the happy ending, but it's something. It's a movement towards that. And again, it feels like there's a male here who is not, who may want to kind of make up, but who's not fully willing to take what you have to offer if you're a woman. And if you're a man, I feel like someone may be offering you more than you really want from them. Like they have like a whole kind of future idea about like what you two could do together that you're kind of like, I'm not so sure about that, And they're like, no, really, this is like a great idea. So, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. It will depend in different situations, I guess. But it seems like there is reflection that's needed to kind of clear the deck so that this connection can, so that something can be unlocked. There's some kind of like past pain that's still quite active, but that's not being all the way addressed. Like, there's some kind of reconnection here, but then there's like a deeper thing that someone needs to go further inside to kind of discover what it is, Like there's more work that needs to be done, more internal work that needs to be done for someone. And I do feel like it's the male figure, only because I'm learning how to read runes at the same time, so I'm kind of casting some runes along with the cards. But I've got Tyr in reverse, and Tyr is a masculine rune, so that makes me feel like it is probably the male in the situation who needs a little bit further study, or a male in the situation who needs a little bit to look inside of themselves a little bit more in order to be guided forward in the appropriate way. And I feel like it's about like old habits needing to like be neutralized, old things that this person has done that always lead to disappointment, but that maybe they're not sure how to proceed in a different way. Like they can kind of see it in their mind, but they don't really know how to take those steps. So if you can, be gentle with this person, because it feels like they really are trying, but they're just kind of, they're in the middle of a difficult lesson, basically. And I think they already feel bad about it, even though they're not quite getting the gist, they're not quite getting the upshot of what they should be learning. It feels like they do feel guilty somehow, or like they've failed you or failed some kind of mission. Yeah, it just seems like it wasn't the way, things didn't pan out in the way that they wanted. And they feel like they missed an opportunity, but they also are not certain about kind of taking that opportunity now, it seems like. So it's almost like they would rather just sort of hang their head in shame and just like keep moving away from the whole thing rather than kind of delve into it and get the heart of it fixed, you know. But I think that that's not really, wow. Okay. Somebody's having a hard time. There's like 100 million cards in reverse here. But yeah, it feels like it's like they're trying to put a freeze on the situation to just be like, you know what, let's just call it a day. Let's just, yeah, like it didn't work out and, you know, that sucks. But like, let's just walk away from it, you know, like let's just go to our separate corners and like, you know, we don't ever have to talk about it again. But that path, that way of dealing with it is really just not going to work for them. It's like they're being kind of served this lesson, you know, and if they don't take it down this time, then it's just going to come back around and be served to them again and be served to them again and be served to them again. It's just their future is like a big repeat until they deal with this issue, which is about the way that they behave and have behaved for some time that leads to pain and suffering for them and for other people every single time. You know, even if it seems different, this is something that is not, you know, this is an old pattern that kind of has piled up. And I think that's why they're having such a hard time breaking free of it, even though they want to. I really do feel like they want to break free of it. But yeah, yeah, there's like a big old choice in the middle of this. It's like, if this person goes ahead and learns this lesson, then they're free of it and they don't ever have to go back to it again. They don't ever have to go back to it again. They're free and they can kind of proceed, you know, and they can start kind of listening in a little bit more to what the universe is asking of them. And they will be guided on their path in a way that makes them happy and makes things start happening for them, whereas they may be a bit blocked now by trying to barge ahead down a path that's not really suited for them. So, yeah, so the choice is basically they can learn their lesson and kind of move on in a free way, or they can choose to kind of delay that lesson and just put it off till later. And then I feel like there's an outside event that's coming in to kind of mess with them. And I do feel like this is directly related to, I've got the Tower here and I've got the Wheel of Fortune in reverse up above it. I feel like these things are directly related. It's related to their past actions, to past karma, if you want to call it that, but really it's like something that they did in the past that's going to come back around and bite them in the butt pretty hard this month. So yeah, and that's going to get them off of this track, or is trying to get them off of that track. So yeah, there's a choice here for somebody that in your life, Taurus, or for you to like do it the easy way or do it the hard way, but the universe wants you to get it done. And I don't feel like this is something that you're going to be able to help someone with. They really have to see it on their own, you know, because I feel like for some of you, you've been waiting for somebody, you've been trying to help them to see it, you know, and been like, okay. And I feel like they're getting closer this month and you're going to be excited about that, but you're still not going to be able to help them. And I think that's going to be a little difficult. So, but that's kind of, you know, they need to kind of come into the light themselves. So, yeah. So I do see a slow kind of, I was going to say opening up, but I'm not even sure that it's opening up. It's a slow progress in whatever super stuck situation has been going on. You know, that Saturn is back in Scorpio in Western astrology. It's back in Scorpio until mid-September. So it kind of wants us to go over all this stuff that we've been working on for the past 2.5 years and tie up any loose ends. So we do think that the summer is going to be a time of, you know, things coming back around and things that you thought were put to bed. You know, there's new aspects or elements of them coming up. And then by the time we hit the fall, then things should be a little more like, okay, like we really did all that stuff and now we can actually move ahead, you know. So I wouldn't get too down about it, Taurus. I really think, unless it's you that's needing to learn this lesson, It just seems like there's somebody in your environment who, you know, they're not learning the lesson affects you, but that they're really, there's a lot of pressure that's being put on them this month to kind of move forward. So, but again, I've got runes that are very positive and protective here as well, and that signify a successful completion. So it feels like, you know, especially if this person is able to make that leap and just kind of get into it, you know, then things are going to turn out very well. It's just something that they don't quite know how to do, you know. It's not even just that they're afraid, it's that they don't know how. So have a little patience with them if you can, because that is the Taurian superpower. So anyway, yeah, I hope that's helpful. And please do feel free to get in touch if you'd like a personal reading. My email address is theivyleagueastrologer@gmail.com, and my link for scheduling and more info is down below. Okay, thanks so much. Bye.